want to go right now to Charlie Pereira, the former NTSB investigator. He led the underwater recovery efforts for a crucial part of TWA Flight 800, the wreckage from that one. You might recall back in the summer of 1996. Hard to believe it's been that long. Charlie, very good to have you. Piecing together what we have, what do you make of the timing of all of this? And if indeed there was this catastrophic event, perhaps as early as the very moment we lost communication with this submersible?
Well, you know, it's a very high pressure environment, a lot of dangers. You've got a vehicle that isn't really heavily regulated with regards to design standards and certification and operation and systems. So it's extremely risky. Anything could have happened at any time. Unfortunately, it's not surprising to me. These new type of endeavors that we see like this in the accident investigation community, generally the first thing it invokes in our minds is, unfortunately, job security for us. You know, it's kind of an accident waiting to happen when you have these very high danger, high risk, sort of leading edge technology. And then when you get people, unfortunately, paying $250,000 a pop for it, right, to basically help underwrite it and fund it, it's very high stakes. Back in the early days when they first came out with a lot of high performance single pistons and single turboprops, you know, the Beach Bonanza was known to be the quote unquote doctor killer, because there was plenty of doctors that had enough money to buy one, but not enough training and sense to operate it safely. So it kind of harks back to that. Not to be any insult to the education or abilities of these people, because they're certainly very intelligent, capable people. But this accident underscores the need to have rigorous aviation aerospace type standards applied to the design, manufacture, and certification. And the amusing claims about $30 Amazon controllers being used to control these things, and having had previous failures, just makes me shake my head and feel sad for the families that got suckered into it.
You know, Charlie, when you were piecing together what happened with TWA Flight 800, you were literally trying to piece together a vast puzzle, an explosion of just unusual proportions. In this case, we learned that there were 5 distinct debris areas. Might be more as they come to study more, because to an earlier point here, this continues to go on. But parts of the hull were found in one debris field, and then the tail cone and parts of the hull in another debris field. In other words, there were not, you know, multiple or hundreds of debris fields. I mean, limited anywhere from 3 large ones to 2, I'm told, smaller ones. What does that tell you?
Well, we had the benefit at that time of an airborne vehicle that was being tracked on radar, primary and secondary radar returns. And once it exploded, we had a lot of primary radar returns that basically took the trajectory of the winds at that time. And we mapped those. I mapped those out within hours of the accident and sent them to the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard found the main debris and the secondaries. And then after that, it was just a matter of the divers getting as much as they could, and then we enlisted scallop trawlers and came up with a plan with the U.S. Navy navigation systems and the scallop trawlers. And I went out on the scallop trawlers and was on board them for 3 weeks, helping recover the last 10% of those. But we were in shallow water. We knew where the crash was, and that's a relatively easy task compared to this. This is at a tremendous depth. We don't have any radar data showing the trajectory of that vehicle underwater, at least that I'm aware of. I'm not part of this investigation, so I don't have access to any data. But it just underscores, you know, I've thought of dozens of engineering and safety ideas since this has happened, you know, that would help prevent this kind of thing from happening. You know, have some form of a beacon device like we have on flight data recorders and cockpit voice recorders that should be attached to this, so that there's never any question about where this vehicle is. And if they say that that technology doesn't exist, well, then don't go down there until you develop it. You know, yes, it's cutting edge technology, but it harks back to the beginning of aviation. Orville and Wilbur Wright in terms of low technology with regard to safety. Yeah, to me, it's very sad, and could have been had they employed a group of aviation aeronautical safety professionals in theorizing all the potential failure modes and safety protocols that should be installed and safety systems to handle all the what ifs, you know, we wouldn't be sitting here watching this play out tragically and having to think about what these families are going through right now.
Yeah, that's an understatement of it, Miley. Charlie, thank you very much for your perspective on this.